CarolJo's, which is an online jewelry and accessory business. What we do here is lots of different things. I am letting both YouTube and TikTok let you all know that I am live. Once that has happened, then I will go in and let you all know what we do here. Right now, I will be bringing up my backup account so that I can see comments better from TikTok. I do not have a backup account of my YouTube, so once I go down, I will not be able to see comments. So welcome in, everybody. There we go. Hey, TikTok already told my backup account immediately that I was live. Woohoo! So hopefully it will let other people know. If you are in here on TikTok, go ahead. If you guys could share it out and also do the likes, that will get individuals in here. So I'm going to go ahead and like away. I'm going to share here. We'll see if this works. All right. I'm going to go ahead and get started. If you guys can do that, that would be awesome. So if you guys could share 10 times, like 10,000 times, we will start doing giveaways. We have a silicone tutorial today. I do 2 chats a week, which I did both of those on Monday for this week. So we're done with the chat. Hi, Nordic Luna. We will be doing 2 tutorials a week. I have the one right now, and I'll have one tonight. The one we're doing right now is what I am calling the flower wristlet. We have the flower keychain that you can make and added it to a wristlet. So we'll go through that. And then tonight, I made up 2 of the examples now. So now we have 2 on our neck here. We have the Simply Classic necklace. I've got it in brown, and then we also made it in the purple using glass pearl beads. So we'll talk about that one tonight at 8 p.m. I also do lives throughout the week that are selling products. So tomorrow, I can't remember the time, and Friday, and I also can't remember the time. During the day, I will be selling silicone beads. We will have what we have today to make the wristlets up for sale in either of the days, because I haven't decided what I'm doing on which day. So come both days, everybody. But we'll have the lentils. We'll have acrylic beads. We will have the round 15 millimeters in prints and in solid colors. I also have a few lentils available that we'll be bringing, and I will be bringing in some focal beads. I just don't know which day I'm doing which. So come both days, that's what I'll say. Friday night at 7 p.m., we will have our typical normal Friday night bead sale. And then on Saturday, I'm changing the time. It will be 11 a.m. Central, and we will be doing charms. So that's what we got planned on our agenda. Hi, Deborah. How are you? So, all right, everybody. We are going to explain this one. So what we have here is that we have what would be considered the flower keychain. So if you wanted to make this into a keychain, you would really put the swivel down in between the lentils, and it would be this swivel part right here. But to put it onto our wristlet, we have to move that down and put it on our split ring. So to create the first part that we're going to do, which will be the flower keychain, we're going to need some sort of center bead. I want to let you guys know, with that center bead, you can do, I'm going to get out of the comments here. I'm going to move that down just a little bit. Sorry, I didn't realize I was in the comments so much. You can use an acrylic bead here, like I have here a 20 millimeter. In the next example, I am going to be using a 6 millimeter one, or not 6, that's 16 millimeter. Okay. And then you need enough lentils to go around that bead. So you could do a 15 millimeter round print that matches what, if you were going to put a print in here, if that's what you want to do. You can also do those 19 millimeter silicones. I do not sell those because I don't have them in stock, but you can do the 19 millimeter if you like. You could do an octagon in there. You just need to have enough lentils that when you create your circle, it will go around your center bead. So if you're using a smaller size bead, you will decrease it. Hi, Ashley. Here on this 20 millimeter, I have 16 lentils around the outside. So that is what we have going on to create this one and what you need for the supplies. Now for your wristlet, which is this part here, you're going to use that split ring that you were using from your keychain that you made a flower keychain. We're going to repurpose it and put it in there. And then you need 20 15 millimeter silicone beads. If that's how you make your wristlets. They can be prints, they can be solids. You can change it up and you can put octagons in here. You can put the abacus. You can have bigger beads, whatever you would like. So I'm going to give you directions today when we go to do ours. For this one here, I just used 20 15 millimeters, just to let you know. That's how I make my wristlets. So I'm going to use, for my beads, I just grabbed different things and we're going to put those together. So around this 16 millimeter, I grabbed soft strawberry is the color of the lentils. And I have a couple of bags, so we'll see what we need to use for that. Then for our wristlet, what I grabbed is I grabbed white, black, the soft strawberry, they're in the bag here, and I grabbed cow spot for the print. Hello everybody on YouTube. So that's what I grabbed, and we're going to create our pattern. We're not going to follow the same pattern that we have here because you can change up your patterns each and every time. So we're going to change up the pattern. And that's what I want to show is change your pattern to whatever fits for you and what you have for supplies. Now for the cord, normally on a wristlet, I would use 2 millimeter size cord. I've used all of my 2 millimeter. So I don't have 2 millimeter. We sold it all this last week too. So I don't have 2 millimeter white in house. I've got it on order. I will be placing that order today to get more. Right now, I do have the 1.5. So I will be using 1.5. The difference in 2 millimeter, I want to grab one here so I can show you that I've done in 2 millimeter. Hold on. I got to grab a circular one. Here. Okay, these are my difference. This one was done with 1.5. This one was done with 2.0. See how much this one, I'm going on the same. This one is more flexible than this one. That is the difference between the cords. You can use either. Either will work. Gotta pick something up I dropped. I prefer 2.0. I just don't have it in white. I do have it in black, but with the colors that I'm using, when I use white and lighter colors, I am going to use the white cord. So just to let you know, I also have the swivels and the split rings. That's what I need for supplies. Now for tools, you're going to be cutting the cord and you need to singe the ends of the cord. And that makes it so that your cord doesn't fray. I happen to use the little butane torches, the individual small butane torch to do mine. You can use a lighter if you want, whatever you have handy that would work. I just found I really do like the butane torch over the lighter because I have a little bit more control, but I freak my husband out when I use it. He's like, you're going to burn yourself. I'm like, I'm fine, but you're going to jinx me. I also use 2 loop turners. With this, this one here, you can put all of your lentils on 1 loop turner. But when you get to the wristlet, the most that I've seen on the 15 millimeters that you can put on one of the loop turners is 15. And since we have 20, I need 2. You can do it with 2, like 1 small, 1 short. You could do it with 2 longs, you know, whatever you have. I just happened to grab 2 longs today. To cut my cord, I need a pair of scissors. Things are moving on my shelf and it's kind of scaring me. And then I do not sell these, but I use the knot grippers to help me pull my knots tighter. As I've gotten older, my hands don't have as much strength as they did even when I was in my 40s. So I use these and I like using them. They're not a necessity. It just, for me, I don't have as much strength in my hands, and that helps me out. I will also possibly use my darning needle, and I will use that on this flower one. If I do not have a big enough loop just to put it through, sometimes it helps having the darning needle and getting it through. So you may or may not need that darning needle. I don't sell the darning needles because I can't figure out what size darning needle this is. I got it in a multi-pack, and because I got it in a multi-pack, it doesn't tell me. If I knew, I would order them for you guys and have them on hand. I just ended up going to Wally World and buying a pack of darning needles and found one that worked for me. That's literally what I did. All right. I also have a ruler to help me measure out my cord so I can get my cord where I need it to be. That is what we need for our supplies. If you have questions about it, please put them in the chat and I'll answer them as I can. I'm now going to point you guys down so that you guys can see my mat and how I make it better instead of me doing it up here at you guys. All right. That means on YouTube, I will not be able to see your comments while we are pointing down. And it's because I do not have a backup account and I do not get to see. Okay, I'm going to make it a little bit straighter. There we go. TikTok, I do have a backup account. I just have to make sure I look at my backup account to be able to see that. All right. So we're going to start with, and I'm just going to leave this up here so that you guys can kind of see it. I'm going to start with the flower first. You make the outside loop. You put all of your items here of the lentils on your loop turner, and then measure out your thread or cord at the same time, or, you know, each step. You can do it either or. That is what I'm trying to say. I have a 16 millimeter size round ball. This one was 20. This took 16. This one is not going to take 16. I do not have a number that's, I'm like, yep, that's the number. So we're going to put them on and kind of test it. Hi, Rainbow. I'm thinking we'll need like 13 or 14 of them. We'll find out here. So I'm going to put 13 on my loop turner to begin with. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. There is 13. Okay. So to do that, I just put those on the loop turner. They are a solid color. I'm not doing a pattern for the flower. You sure can if you would like. I'm just doing it with just solid. And the reason why I'm choosing to do solid is that I have the pink that's going to go around this bead here. And then I'm going to use that same color pink as an accent into my wristlet. Okay, so I have 13 on there. I am going to cut off 24 inches of my cord. So there is 18 and 6 makes 24. I'm going to cut that off. You didn't see me cut it off camera, sorry. And if you noticed, I kind of pulled on it when I started that. Because it's on a round, I tend to pull on it just to get it a little bit straighter. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take our cord. We are going to put it in the hook part of our loop turner here. Put it in there. We are going to shut this up. So you see how it's closed. I'm trying to get that to focus. There we go for TikTok. Here's for YouTube. Turn this upside down. You see how your beads went down. Outside of your beads, push them down. Don't do here. Don't cover it up, just on the outside. Because if you cover it up, when you get to this point where it was down here, you could actually jab your loop turner into your fingers and it doesn't feel good. All right. Now, I'm going to test this out and see. That's going to be a little bit too much. I'm going to take one off. That's better. You want it to be a little bit loose because when these come together, hi Cherie, hi Diane, they will tighten up, and that's okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to make our circle with our lentils. We have 12 lentils. I'm going to get him off of my mat so I don't get him mixed up. There we go. To do this part, you just create a knot. Just normal, typical knot. Bring it together. Let me see if I didn't do this right. Hold on. I didn't get it tight, so we're good. I need to have my beads in the middle, and I don't have them in the middle. There we go. All you do is you put your ends together, hold it up, and then just get that in the middle. Hi, beads, beads. So once again, let's try that knot this time. We'll get this tight. Sometimes I can get this one. Now I'm going to test it. Yep, that's going to fit in there. All right, I can get this tight sometimes without using my loop turners. When I get, or not my loop turners, my knot grippers. But sometimes when I get to the second one, I do need them. So once again, I'm going to put another knot in there. I'm going to pull this tight. I'm not getting it in there. So I'm going to create a knot on each end of my cord. And to do that, all I do is create a circle, take my end, and I go inside there twice, and then push it down to the end and just create a knot. I put in that notch, I put my cord on both sides, and then I pull tight, and you will feel a snap. I just felt the snap. I wasn't getting that snap when I was using my hands. Some people have enough strength in their hands that you will feel that snap, and that means you've got it really tight. Cut off your two ends. Okay. Now, you see how this naturally goes one way and the other way. I want to come, oh, Nike butts. You know what I forgot? I forgot to put this in there. We might be able to get it in there, but it has to go up here. Let's see if I can if I can't, I'll redo it. And that was me. I forget this part a lot. And it's funny because I watch other creators. I'm not getting that really quick. So we're going to cut this apart. We're going to cut off another piece, and then we're going to remember to do that. There we go. And I just lost one going down. I don't know where he dropped to, but we've got others up here, so we're okay. We'll find him later. Get all the fuzzies off. There we go. Okay. Once again, we're going to redo this. I do that a lot too. And I watch other creators do the same thing. So I don't feel bad, but we all can watch that we are not perfect. All right. There is 9, 10, 11. I'll find that other one. Thanks for the gifts, Diane. And if anybody else did gifts, thank you. I can't see who's giving gifts. It's on my backup account, but my main account will show all of them, but I don't see all of them. All right, let's do this again. 18 and 6. If you do not have your swivel in your jump ring, there is a tool called a split ring tool that will open up the split ring so you do not harm your fingernails. You use that split ring tool and open up the end of the split ring and then just add on, except for mine keeps moving here. There we go. And then just add the closure on it and spin it around. All right, we are going to add 6. There's a reason why I'm going to say 6. 2, 4. There we go. 2, 4, 6. Add 6 to the your cord. And in this part, oh, it'll move. Never mind. I'm like dirt. Add in the others. There we go. We got it on there. Hi, Gladys. Okay. Hopefully, if you just want to hang out, you can, but I understand if you can't. All right. There we go. I'm going to make sure it fits around my bead. It still does. We're good. Now we're going to tie it again. Get that tight. Second time, we're going to tie it again. I'm not getting it tight enough, so I'm going to get those off of the table. We are going to use our loop, why do I keep calling my knot grippers loop turners today? So we're going to create those knots. You just put your end into that loop at the end of it, wrap it around. I already got my loop on this one. Wrap it around. And then pull tight and you will feel it. When you can feel it, yep, I got it. Now we got that one done. All right, cut your ends off. There we go. Your acrylic beads do not fit on your loop turners more times than not. The reason being is that that isn't big enough to go over that hook part. Do you see what I'm saying? So what you end up doing is that you take the bead and just string it. And if you notice, this one is naturally on this side. This one is naturally on the other side. So we don't want to force this one and make him go around the bottom the wrong way. Just go in here and go where he naturally will go. And because we have the split ring, you have to finagle him in there. Now watch. I probably should have had 13 on here because he's going to be tight. There we go. Whoop, nope. And this is where playing around comes around into play. All right. And he is down in there now. In the center. But do you notice? My thread is not completely straight in there. So I am going to pull that straighter. Nope. He is not wanting to go. There we go. I had to remove my split ring. There we go. And you're going down. And do you see how I've just pulled this? And it really is a finagling of just pulling that to be straight. Are you guys getting that? I'm trying to make sure I'm in the camera. Then what you do is I will put this on the darning needle because I have very little room to try to get this through from the back to the front. So do you see how I'm going around that bead? I put my darning needle on my thread on the darning needle, bringing it from the front to the back. I need you to stay out of my way. Put that in that lentil and pull it. And I don't want to leave this white that you're seeing here. I want to try to hide as much of that as possible by pulling that straight. There we go. I am not liking this, everybody, because he's really tight and it's making my white, I can't hide it. We're going to start again. And this is what playing around, because I did not make it with the 15 millimeter or 16 millimeter bead. And so I'm just going to play around here. But I will find that bead. There he is. And I'm going to put 13 instead of 12. And this is what I wanted to talk about as part of, if you do different sizes, you will end up playing around like this. I have a lot of white on my table. There we go. I need one more. Hi, Joya. This acrylic is 16, Cherie. This one here in this example is 20. When you're doing a 20 millimeter acrylic bead, I use 16 lentils. Now we have the 15. And the reason why I even did this on the live here, that I changed it up, is because I wanted to, and I didn't practice it ahead of time. And the reason being is that I wanted you guys to see trial and error of how I go in and do it. Hey, Rose. So once again, 24 inches. If anybody knows what they do on those, you can tell us. So now we're going to try with 13. It was really loose earlier, but that's why I went back to 12. I should have stayed with my gut. Has anybody ever done that where you're like, I should have just stayed with my gut? All right. Getting that in the center of my string. We're going to tie it. He did not get straight and stay. There. Tying it again a second time. Everybody should get this one down since we've done it 3 times now. Hey. Nope, I did not get that with my bare hands. I thought I almost got it. I'm glad I am not the only one. But that's part of the creativity process. You guys are seeing what I do when I come up with ideas for you guys. I literally spent 3 hours trying to get this one done. Did I give up in that 3 hours? Nope. There we go. There it popped. Because I had this idea in my head and I wanted to watch it come to fruition. Did I do it all in one setting? Nope. Goes back to our Monday thing about don't be scared to do it. But I just needed a break on Sunday night. There we go. That one fits in there a lot better. Whew. We got her in there now. And do you see how by changing that up, I got that to go in between the beads? And do you see my white? Here, I'll just flip it around here. Do you see the white there as much? You don't. I'm going to put this on a darning needle. Maybe. There we go. And we're going to come around and we're going to go through, you know, right here is where it's at. I want to go in between those beads and put my darning needle through. I don't want to spear. And this is where I'm talking about. I don't want to spear the thread on this side. I don't want to split it, but I need to come through. There we go. I'm going to pull this. And if you want, at this point, you can put a knot in there. I'm not choosing to do a knot right here on this one because the knot then, and I'm just going to pull this tight, because the knot then will show more if I put it right there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use my darning needle. I'm going to go down a couple of beads. See how I'm just going in there with the beads? I'm pulling this through. I've got that there. Right here is my other piece of thread. I can either choose I don't want to put it right here because I don't want to put two knots together. I want to come back this way and tie another knot right here with this part. I can choose to put my darning needle on this one and come through all four and tie it here. Or you can take your loop turner and go through all four and bring it through. I am going to try the darning needle because this is really tight right now. And I feel like if I try to do the loop turner, I'm going to have problems. I'm going to spear things that I don't want to spear. Because this is very, very tight with the 13 and how tight I got my cord. And sometimes with the darning needle, you can only go through 1 or 2 beads at a time. Holding the knot is in that one, so it's being a pain. And I don't want to go the other way because that's a long way around. Let's get you in there, little dude. And what I mean is, I want to show you. Do you see how I want to go this way? And when I look at this, when I split it apart, you'll see my knot is right there. And it's being a pain in the butt. So I'm going to end up going the opposite way so that I can get through the center of the beads and not go through my knot. So we're going to take the long way around to get there. How I find time, Rose, is so Sunday I didn't have as much invoicing because I had Friday and Saturday off. So my invoicing took a lot less time to do. So that is how I found time to do this one with so much time. Had I not had all that time off from doing sales and stuff like that and prepping for a sale, I don't know that I would have had the time. It's just I sit here and think about my schedule and go, how much time do I have to devote to each thing? Does that help understand where? All right, we're back here together. All right. Woohoo! We got back. All I want to do is the same type of knot that I just did. We're going to tie this one tight. It's going to go in there, and then we're going to do a second one. I can't get it tight, so I am going to use my knot grippers. Yep, and that is one thing. My husband just looks at me and he's like, why do you have like every minute planned out? And I'm like, if I don't have my time planned out, I feel like I didn't accomplish everything. I have a big binder that tells me all of my steps that I need to do for the day. And there we go. We have shorter ones, so I might not be able to wrap it around all the way. That one I did. Let's see about this one. Get you in there. There we go. All right, now we're going to pull it. There we go. This is what happens when you pull it tight and they're really short, is that your knots get caught in there. There we go. All right, I need to hide my string and do my cord ends. What I do, I'm going to see if I can do that with this here. Yep, I can do. Wrong way, Carol. You got to do it the opposite way you want to go. Now, remember I said everything naturally goes one way or another. This one is going naturally this way. This one is naturally going the other way. So this is the one. You don't want to grab the wrong one. You just create extra string look in there. So grab the one that's naturally going which way you want it to go. Okay, we got that in there. We're going to go 2 over here. Try to get our loop turner in there. There we go. Pull that through. There we go. Hide our string, our knots. Whoop, I pulled that knot completely through. Shnikey butts. I didn't want to do that. Let's see if we can pull him back this way. There we go. I hit him now. So if you accidentally, what I did is the knot is in this bead here. When I pulled on it this way, I pulled it out. grab your other one and pull it the opposite way, and it hid itself again. So that's how you end up hiding your knots. Then we're going to take I'm going to get my other scissors because this is really a tight spot and I want some pointy ones that will go in there and cut that down really close. We're going to get in there and cut off that end. We're going to then take our torch lighter, get in there. Don't singe the bead. I'm singeing a bead. It's okay. You don't do the singeing on a pattern. That will there we go. We got it in there. That's why my husband thinks I'm funny with that. Yep, this one is an acrylic in the center. There we go. Got that off. We're going to do the, so it doesn't fray. We're going to do this again. Got that side. I need to get this side of it. There we go. Got it. And you can put those down and put them in. There is the flower keychain. Now remember that if you're going to make this in just a keychain, put the cord on the swivel part, not this on. So that, you know, but I need this so we can finish up our wristlet. So that is half of our project. Thank you. All right. Now, what we're going to do next is we're going to plan our pattern for the wristlet. We use 20 beads. I want to use the cow print or cow spot printed bead. So we're going to have some cow print in there. I'm going to use, to tie our colors together, I want to use some of the soft strawberry, because soft strawberry is what this color is. So those are both soft strawberries. And then I'm going to use white and black, maybe. I don't know what we're going to use for colors. If I want more black in there or if I just want more white, I'm not sure what I want yet. So I'm just going to pour out some beads and lay them out to decide what is my pattern going to be. I know I want these two, and I don't know if I want to do this or do I want to do this. Whoop. And I'm going to put this in there. That's the back side. Let's go to the front side. What do you guys think we should do for the pattern? I'm not liking this. I can just tell you. Get some more white out. Okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I don't know if I like that because then we got 3 of those, so we'll have 2 of those together. Yeah, and I'm wondering, I know it sounds so weird, but I was bringing the pink in specifically because I thought it would tie it together, but I think, what do you think of it, just the black, the cow print, and the white? You guys let me know. And then this would be dangling down in it. I don't know if I have black in a different size, enough of it. Let me look. I don't want the 9, I want the 12. And I don't know if I have black and 12s in my bag. I do not. And I have yet to find them in what I ordered. Where do you get these loop turners, Marisol? I sell them. They're $1.50 a piece. We are getting ready. Hopefully next week you can buy tools directly off the website. But right now, I don't have them set up on the website. So, and this black, yeah, they are all 15 millimeters. They are. It does, like, this one looks like he is smaller for some reason, but they are all 15 millimeter size beads. I'm wondering, hold on. I'm having a thought here. I only have 3 though, or 4 in here. Hold on, because you can do different things, everybody. Hold on. What if we would do... I know. They were looking, when I looked up, I saw that. Let me see what this would be. Take him out. Do that. Oh, I have some soft strawberry abacus in here. Ha ha! Hold on. Okay, I'm playing around, everybody. Okay. Black, pink, white. You're not white, so we need to make sure I don't grab him. Oh, we need to take him out. Yep. Then that. Pink, black, white. Take that white out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. I like that. I don't know. What do you guys think? I'm mixing abacuses and prints, rounds, solids. I just think it gives it a different look. Let me bring this in. I like that. Okay. I think that's what I'm going to go with, everybody. I really do like it. It's not what I would normally do, but I just grabbing and going, and I think I like it. Go on, there we go. Because this will take more than one of our loop turners here, I'm going to grab the second one, and it will repeat back down this way. So I want to be, when we think about it, it is this way, so I want to go this way. You have to stop and think about this. And this is one of the hardest things for me personally. They are thinner, but the thing is that I added 2 abacuses to replace one of the beads. Normally when I do, Gladys, a wristlet, I usually do solid or the rounds, and I use 20 of the 15 millimeters. But I ended up taking out one of, in each one of these, I think it was, I took out one of these and put in 2. So I'm going to set it up here. I'm going to see if they'll sit. They are about the same when you do 2 abacuses. The abacuses are 14 by 8 millimeters, so they're 1 millimeter bigger. So it is just a titch bigger. But when you think about the size, I will be adding 5 millimeters to that bracelet. So it's not that much, and I think that will work. All right, so that is what our beads will be. I'm going to put them all here so you guys can see them all maybe. I don't know if it'll show up completely, but there are our beads. That is a very printed one, but I think in the end, I think it's going to look cool. All right. So what I have for it with the abacuses is I have 5 print beads. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the white 15 millimeters. I have 2 of the black, and I have 2 of the pink. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 millimeters. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of our abacuses. So let's see. I try to measure out like over 30 inches. I'm going to go with 32 here for my wristlet. Okay, I'm going to move that out of my way. Okay. I'm going to start with this one first, and I might have put those ones on backwards. Nope, I got to go this way. Okay, I got it now. Putting on our beads. We're going to go this way. Put those on. This one is my first off, and it completes my pattern because I wanted it to be next to that white. I couldn't do it over here on this one because then I'd have 2 prints together. So that's why you got to stop and think sometimes about your pattern and where you're putting it on and how you're putting your beads on the loop turner. Once again, your fingers are on the outside of the bead, not here. If you press this down, you can get those, your hook stuck in your finger. So for safety reasons, just hold on to the outside of the beads. So when I come around, this is where it's going to be at, and that is our pattern. We will also add on here. Now I got to remember, did I do, yep, I did that, just making it loose and getting that on there. He isn't going to move around a whole lot like it normally would on a wristlet. So on a normal wristlet, you know how this moves around? But because you have the wristlet and this keychain that you put on there, he isn't going to be easy to move around on your cord or around your wristlet. I want to even this out so I have about the same amount of string to play with to get everything knotted up. So I'm going to keep moving this around. I line them up. See how I'm not quite there? And so I'm going to move one of them down until I get these lined up about in the middle. There we go. That's about the middle. So they're about even. They're not 100%, and that's okay. We're going to tie that knot that we used before, where you just do a knot here, do it tight, hold it, tie another knot, get it as tight as you can. I'm going to tie knots on the ends here to use my knot gripper. And all I'm doing to do that knot is putting it in there twice. Doing the same thing over here. Grabbing my knot turners, or my knot grippers. Why do I have Turner in my head today? You guys know me. When I get something in my head, it's hard to get it out. Now we're going to pull this until you hear that snap. You will feel it and hear it. Cut off your ends that you have the knots on and get rid of those. I'm like, where did that go? You can use either the darning needle or your loop turner. Go back a few beads. I'm going to use my loop turner. Sorry. There we go. I'm going to go back 3 beads, grab my cord that's naturally going that way, and pull that through. What I do here is I just create a little loop right here and put that through. Pull this tight. If you can't pull that tight, you can use your knot gripper, or you can grab a flat nose plier when you just have the one cord here and just wrap it around and pull it. And it naturally, my knot went in there. I'm going to cut this part off. There we go. And then we're going to singe our stubby there. I don't want him touching the bead. There we go. And then you can take your pliers and stuff that in there. You can use your darning needle tip to shove it in there like this too. Whatever you have that would work for you. It's working better for me for the pliers today. There we go. He is in there now. Okay. Now we're going to grab our other end. He is naturally going this way, so I'm going to go back. He's going this way, sorry. The back 3. Put my loop turner through. Cover that up. Pull that through. And I'm just pulling it to cinch everything up to make my circle. Sorry, I went off camera there, but I'm just pulling it to make my circle. Create your loop. Just all we're doing is you take your finger, put the cord around it, go underneath, come up on the other side, and put your cord through. You want to make sure you stay where you came through at. Don't go a bead above or below, or you'll have a white cord showing that you don't want showing. Grab, there we go. It went in. You can feel it go in. You can hear it. I don't know how else to describe when you know when you hid your cord. Cut that off. And you see how I've got that cut off there? He's right there. We're just going to take our heat and singe that. I want to move my hand down a little bit. There we go. And he's in there. And he pretty much went right on in. I could push it with my hand and get that one in. Now we're going to move our keychain down in the center, and there we have it. That is the flower wristlet where you made a keychain and put it inside the center of the wristlet. I'm going to bring it up, everybody, so you guys can see it better up. All right. Oh, we're kind of crooked, everybody. Hold on. Let me get both cameras straight. There we go. There you are. That is the flower wristlet. This one is using print beads. We also used abacus. We used the lentils, a 16 millimeter acrylic bead here for the center. And then this is the other one that we did, where we just used the round beads and a 20 millimeter center in the lentils. So you can change it up using different size beads. You guys saw how we changed it up as we did this, and we changed it with what we did for our shape of our beads, the number of beads, that type of thing. You get to play around and do what you want to do that. Thank you, Stacy. Thanks, Rose. All right. Thank you, Deborah. I'm just like looking at comments. So that is how you make that. Now, for those of you that are on TikTok and might not have seen us do each one of the steps, what I was going to say is if you go to my profile, in my profile, there's a line that says lemonade. Touch that one. Down below, you will get 2 rectangular boxes. And in the bottom one that says tree, touch that one. An entire list of items comes up. At the very bottom of that list is YouTube. Touch the YouTube and it will send you to YouTube and to my YouTube page or YouTube channel. That's what it is on YouTube. And you can subscribe to me there. This tutorial that we did today will be, as soon as we get off, I save it and it takes a little while for it to save and upload, but it will be available for you to watch it and watch the replay. You will see the struggles that we had by changing out the size of bead, which is okay to have the struggle. That's what I want you guys to learn from today is that don't make it scary. Just try it. And you know, yes, we did use an extra piece of 24-inch of the cord here. Sorry, everything fell over there. But that is part of creating and learning is that, you know what? It's okay to use a little bit more when you're doing it. But now we know if we're going to use a 16 millimeter size center bead, use 13 lentils. If you've got a 20, use 16 lentils. So that is what I was going to say is that that's part of the learning. You could put a 15 millimeter print in there. Instead of doing this white center, I could have done the cow print and put that in the center and tied it even more together. But I really wanted to do the white center, so I did. You can do whatever you want. You could do an abacus in there. That's what this is about taking the time to play around and figure it out. Hi, beads. So that is what you do. Just like when we laid this one out for this one, and I wanted to use this color beads, but it just didn't look right to me with having it all as rounds. And I switched it up and we added abacuses in the 3 colors because I had abacuses in white, the soft strawberry, and in the black here sitting on my table. So I could grab those and use those and create this one. So I want you to understand this is part of the process for you to just go in and create. Now, we changed up the sizes of our beads and used the different shapes. Do you see? This one is just a little bit different in size. Does it mean it won't fit on my wrist? Nope, it does. So it didn't matter that I switched it up and it's just a titch bit different in size, but it all worked out together. And that's what I'm hoping that you guys could take away from today is have fun creating. You guys can let me know what your thoughts are. I really do appreciate you all hanging around while we struggle bust on trying to remember to put our keychain on there. That was struggle number 1. Struggle number 2 was the number of the lentils going around it. And then number 3 struggle was picking our pattern. And you know what? I want you guys to see, not everybody creates everything the first time the perfect way. Like I said, to get this idea to fruition took me 3 hours. Took me an hour to switch it up to do this one. But once you've got the numbers that you're going to do, if you like this and just want to switch out colors and prints, you know what? You could get this in a lot less time. So the first time you do it, just give yourself a little bit of extra time. Anytime you change up one thing in here, give yourself a little bit of extra time and give yourself grace. So I hope that is encouraging for you all and that it helps you out. Yeah, I thought both were really cute too, Deborah. I'm like excited about this. I'm like, woohoo, I'm going to go play. But I was going to say, yes. And that I will always show you guys what I struggled with. We will talk about what I struggle with when I'm doing our tutorials. The reason being is that I want to share what I learned so that you guys don't go through the same thing I did. And I also want you to know we are all human and we all are not perfect on the first try. And we will get through it. That's what I like to take away with this. Whoops, I'm putting away black in the white bag. That doesn't work. I wish I could play more today, but I'm not going to be able to. The reason why I won't be able to is because I have to finish up. I started already with the invoices for those that we had done the claims on yesterday. And I'm going to finish those up today. We will be back at 8 p.m. tonight. We're going to do something different. We're not going to have silicones tonight. We're going to have glass pearls tonight. And I'm going to show you how to make our Simply Classic necklace. So this will be what you guys will be watching or will be doing tonight. And it is a classic necklace no matter what bold color you use with it. But you know what? That's okay, Deborah. It takes time. It takes time. And if you guys follow me on Facebook, Diane, I believe it was, did a dash hound and did other prints with that dog balloon. They are cool. So if in that same spot where I told you how to get over to YouTube would be the same way that you can go to the VIP page on Facebook, and there you can see pictures. You might have to go into the mention section to see them. I'm still trying to figure out the whole how you guys put pictures on a page and how we can get them out there. Yeah, they are. I saw them. Where did you put them? Because it was in a comment. That's right. It's in a comment here on YouTube on our weekly schedule. That's where I saw them. I'm like, where did I see them at? But you guys can add things there too. All right, everybody. I have someone here who is going to be taking the pictures like we talked about. The tools. These tools are going to be added to my website so that you guys can purchase them directly from the website. Even this one, our split rings, all of the tools. She's here to take the pictures. Once I get the pictures back from her from being edited, then you guys will be able to do my tools that I have available for y'all out on the website. So I'm just letting you know we're getting things out there so that you guys can purchase directly. So I hope you guys had a great day. I had a lot of fun. Even with struggling, it still was fun. So I hope you guys, if you have questions about it, you can ask, but I hope you guys try it. Let me know how it turned out. You all have a great day. We will see you tonight at 8 p.m. Bye. You're welcome.